everyone. Welcome to Rambling Hour with Lisa, Season 17, Episode 1. I just want to turn this so the glare from my light isn't as obvious. Sorry, the Wi-Fi is just being a little bit, I don't know if it's Wi-Fi or what, but I was having trouble with the printer, and so maybe it's just me and electronics today. I'm not sure. Steve said we're celebrating Hanukkah, but we're not necessarily celebrating Hanukkah because I'm not Jewish. But I just thought we would talk about Hanukkah, seeing we're in the season of Hanukkah, and because just like I celebrate Christmas, but I'm not a practicing Christian. I don't go to church or, do the rituals that are in the any Christian religions, Catholic or otherwise. But so even I think probably if I had been raised Jewish and I was still in the same state of mind that I am now, I would be an unpracticing Jew as well. Just too lazy, and also too lazy to practice any certain practice, but also I don't feel that it's necessary to, I think, living a good life and treating others the way you'd like to be treated, like with respect and taking care of each other and just loving each other and doing the best that you can is enough. That's only my personal views. So I don't think you need to gather at a church or a holy building or anything else, temple, synagogue, whichever, to be a better person or to please God in a better way, because there's the people who could be going every time that they're supposed to go to their certain building, but not living the life of a true, good person. Anyways, there's so many religions out there and beliefs and everything else, but I just thought we would talk about what Hanukkah is. I have heard that if you are Jewish, that Hanukkah isn't necessarily the biggest celebration of the year. It's just become sort of, because it's at the same time as Christmas, or around the same time as Christmas, it's become more of like a yay, like huge thing. It is one of the celebrations that they have in Jewish religion, but it's not necessarily the biggest. But it is 8 days of 8 days and 8 nights. So I print, this is why I needed the printer. I printed off some stuff so we could talk about what Hanukkah is. This is my mensch on a bench. A mensch is like the priest or the rabbi. I guess those could be different as well, but a mensch is like someone that you look up to. I didn't look up the definition of a mensch, and so it's based on the, it might actually say in the book of the mensch on a bench. Let me check. But the elf on a shelf for Christmas, so then they came out with the mensch on a bench, and this book comes with the mensch. He's bigger than the elves. Would have been cool if he was like the same size as them so they can hang out. If you saw last year, I did my elf, Aaron, our family elf, he was with the mensch on a bench and did the Hanukkah and lit the candles and stuff. So for those of you who don't know, right now we're in the Hanukkah season. It started actually on Christmas Day. It doesn't always line up that way. It changes, but it just worked out that the first day of Hanukkah was on Christmas Day. So we're right in the middle of Hanukkah right now. Yeah, so this book is actually talking about how I might even read this to you guys. Let me see. You guys want to hear a story about a mensch on a bench? And then about this one, the Festival of Lights, Hanukkah, last year. I can't remember if I read it or not, but it was, again, to educate us on what Hanukkah is. So, let's see. Should I read? Mom says, hi, Lisa. Hi, Mom. Okay, so I printed off some information from, it's called The Old Farmer's Almanac at almanac.com. And I was reading about Hanukkah 2024. When is Hanukkah and why is it celebrated? So when does Hanukkah start, and more facts about Hanukkah? There's different spellings as well. For Daily Wisdom, sign up for Almanac newsletter body. Okay. When is Hanukkah? In 2024, this 8-day Festival of Lights begins on Wednesday, December 25th at sundown. Learn all about Hanukkah dates, customs such as the nightly menorah lighting, and special foods. What is Hanukkah? Hanukkah, also spelled Chanukah, like Chanukkah. Hanukkah is a 8-day is an 8-day winter festival of lights, which begins each year on the 25th day of the Jewish calendar month of Kislev. So if I pronounce anything wrong, bear with me. Because the Hebrew calendar is based on the lunar cycle, the dates of the Jewish holidays according to the Gregorian calendar change yearly. For this reason, the beginning of Hanukkah can range from late November to late December. In short, Hanukkah commemorates the rededication of the temple in Jerusalem after a group of Jewish warriors defeated the occupying Greek armies. The festival celebrates the triumph of light over darkness and spirituality over materiality. Read on to learn more about the history of Hanukkah. So I just thought when I read that's a really good thing to celebrate in any culture is light over darkness and spirituality over materiality. So yeah, I think that's good to know. So in 2024, Hanukkah begins at sundown on 25th and continues through to Thursday, January 2nd. The first candle is lit on the Hanukkah menorah on the first night of Hanukkah. So when I did the Elf on the Shelf last year with the, hang on. Oh, I see. That's why I didn't use that one. Okay. When I did the Elf on the Shelf last year with the Mensch on a Bench, I printed off a little menorah with candles. Now this candle in the middle is, so you're going to see when the light glares on it that I printed it off, I put cardboard behind it, and then I used like Packers tape, like clear tape to keep them so that, and then I put a strip of sticky stuff back here so that I can just bend the candles down. So the middle candle is like the main candle that you light, the ones for the day with. So I printed that off too. Look at me actually doing some research for a change. So one moment. Oh, where am I then? And English translation. That tonight is right here. How to light the menorah. There's the Hanukkah menorah. 15 steps with pictures, but we don't need to do all that. But okay, so light the shamash candle. Once the sun has set, unless it's Friday, light the shamash candle using a match lighter or other flame source. It's very important to light the shamash first. The shamash is what you will be using to light the other candles. So you should never light the other candles before it. And then you say the first blessing over the candles. So as I was showing you with the menorah, I don't actually have a menorah. Oh, let me just read. Auntie Diane says, hi Lisa from Bonnyville here visiting with Kelly and George. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family. Hi, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you in Bonnyville. Thanks for tuning in. So I don't have a menorah, but the menorah, like I said, there's the middle candle, so that's called the shamash, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Then you have wait, hang on a second. It's 8. Oh yeah, so I made this one first, and this one was wrong because there's only 7 candles on this. So that's what, hang on. So then I made this one that I just threw on the ground. Yeah, this one. So this, because we need the 8 days. All right, so if I bend those down. So we have the shamash in the middle. That's the main candle. So you can light that with a match or however you want to light that. Then you take that candle out, and I don't think I think I actually might have taken it where, no, I didn't, like where I could take that one off so we can use it to light the other ones. Anyway, so you take that one out and then you light the candles for the 8 days. You go from, now remember that just like the writing here is backwards, because on Facebook, when I do a live, it flips it. This is going to look backwards, but you light your candles from, I think it's right to left. I don't want to get that wrong. It is. I'm pretty sure it's right to left. Okay, the first night's candle is placed in the rightmost spot. So for me, this is my right hand. So this is the rightmost spot. So the first candle on day 1, which was on Christmas Day, it's going to go here. So we light 1 candle on the first day. We use this shamash to light this first candle. And on this, again, this is from, that was on, okay, WikiHow. And then Shabad.org is where I got some of this information. Those are the blessings. And that is, so CHABAD.org. Shabad.org is where I got some of this information. So, okay, so on December 25th, it says, tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. Recite blessings 1, 2, and 3, and kindle 1 light in the menorah. So I'm pretty sure kindle means to light it. So you take this, you light this, and you say blessings 1, 2, and 3. And they're quite small, so I printed off the blessings in the English because I can't speak any other language. And blessing 1 is, blessed are you, Lord, it says G-D, so I'm going to assume that's God, but maybe it wouldn't, I don't know why they have it like that. So blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah light. Blessing 2 is blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, who performs miracles for our forefathers in those days at this time. And blessing 3, and we'll talk about that with the forefathers, why it is. Remember, we talked about the warriors who got the temple back in Jerusalem. When lighting for the first time this year, then you say the third blessing, which is, blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has granted us life, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this occasion. Now, again, I want to say, even if you don't practice a religion, how important is it to just say thank you to the universe, to whatever higher power you believe in, or just to be grateful, even if you don't believe in any higher source, just be grateful for the fact that you can light these candles if you have a menorah and you have hands to do it, and the fact that we are living and healthy, and even if we're safe and happy in our homes. So those are the 3 blessings. And then when it is day 2, tonight is the second night of Hanukkah. Recite blessings 1 and 2 and kindle 2 lights on the menorah. So then on the second day, you would light the shamash, which is your main candle, with however you want to light it, a match, a lighter, anything. Then you take that one out and you light the one. Oh, actually, so you start the farthest right candle. That's your first day, and then this will be your second day. But you actually, when lighting them, that said it somewhere. Light the shamash candle. Say the first blessing over the candles. If you count the 8 candles from left to right on the first night, light a candle in the 8th farthest right position on the second night. Okay, I'm pretty sure, but don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure you put in the candles from right to left, but you always light the newest candle first. So if it's day 2, you take your shamash and then you light today's candle, which is the second day. That was Boxing Day for us. and then you light this one. And those are your second day candles, and you say the first and second blessing. So on the third day, which was the 27th, which is when we did our family dinner here with everybody here, which was wonderful. Tonight is the third night of Hanukkah. Recite blessings 1 and 2 and kindle 3 lights in the menorah. The menorah should be lit before lighting the Shabbat candles, 18 minutes before sunset. Light Shabbat candles. Click here for Shabbat candle lighting times. Okay, I don't know what Shabbat, I think that's Sabbath. And I don't know what the Sabbath candles are, so that's something different we'll have to look up later. Matthew says, Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year, Lisa and family. Thank you, Matthew. That's Matthew Stumberg from high school. Okay, so third night, we do the third candle. And then fourth night, which was yesterday, is so tonight is the fourth night of Hanukkah. The menorah is lit after the Sabbath ends, and the Havdalah is recited. I don't know what the Havdalah is, but if you go to Shabbat.org, these words like the Sabbath ends and the Havdalah, they're underlined and highlighted, so you can click on them and find out what they are if you want to. So recite blessings 1 and 2 and kindle 4 lights in the menorah. So again, you're going to take your Shabbat candle and you're going to light 4 candles, but you start with the newest candle first. So you take this one and you light this one, light this one, light this one, and then light that one. And then today is the 5th night of Hanukkah. Recite blessings 1 and 2 and kindle 5 lights in the menorah. So again, you're going from right to left. So the next, for day 5, it's going to be the one that's right next to the, oh, I actually did, hang on, I don't know if I can take this off. It's not coming off properly, but I did, there. I did actually do this for the elf so that the elf could take off the shabash. Aren't I creative? And then light the first candle for day 5, the second candle for day 4, third candle, day 3, day 2, and day 1. And then you put the shabash back in place. Now, as far as letting them burn, how long they burn, I haven't looked that up. So I don't know if, and then I'm going to leave it at that because today is the 5th day of Hanukkah, and I'm sure you can figure out what to do on the 6th, 7th, and 8th day. Now, I don't expect you to practice this or to do this if you aren't Jewish because, you know, all that cultural appropriation and stuff, but I want us just to understand some of the different things that other people practice. So the 4th night, 5th night, 6th night, 7th night, 8th night of Hanukkah. Okay, so now I will go to, and if you notice, I like to make these the Bitmoji cartoons for my rambling hour, so you guys kind of have an idea of what's to come on my episodes. And you may or may not have noticed, if you saw it, that this is the one that I had for Rambling Hour with Lisa today, and I did the 5th day of Hanukkah. So you see, I tried to do the same clothes that I'm going to be wearing and the same hairstyle, and then what we're going to do. So, and the slippers, I actually got new slippers. These ones are brown. These ones are gray. But these are my new slippers. I got 2 sets of slippers from Steve. These are one of them for Christmas. So I'm going to put that stuff over there. And then I am going to tell you, let's do the mensch on a bench. And this will be good for any kids that want to hear about it as well. So the mensch on a bench. Written by Neil Hoffman, illustrated by I'm so bad at pronunciations. Nested, it's Necdet, Nekdet, or Nestet Yilmaz. The mensch on a bench. I'm going to bring you closer. All right, the mensch on a bench. I know, again, if you're watching live or on Facebook, the writing is backwards. But hopefully when I get these on YouTube, I'll reverse them. Everyone knows the story of the Maccabees and how they led the Jews to freedom. Well, not everybody knows that story. Maybe if you're Jewish. So, the Maccabees and how they led the Jews to freedom. But nobody knows about the unsung hero of Hanukkah, Moshe the Mensch. Let me share Moshe's story. Okay, wait. So before we do that one, let's see if this Hanukkah book that I got here, the Festival of Lights, tells us about Hanukkah, and then we'll read about the Mensch on the bench. Okay, so Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, by Bonnie Batter, illustrated by Joni Stone. Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. Tonight we celebrate Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. We light the menorah. And you can see he's holding the shamash and he's lighting the first candle. And that's where the shamash goes after. We eat potato pancakes called latkes. We spin the dreidel. That's a child's toy. We celebrate Hanukkah for 8 nights, but why? The story of Hanukkah comes from something that happened a long, long time ago to the Jewish people in the land of Israel. King Antiochus was ruler of all the land, but he did not like the Jewish people because they did not dress, eat, or pray the same way he did. And you can see the hate nowadays still, with different religions. People hate other religions for what? What are they really doing besides having different beliefs than you? The Jewish people prayed in the temple. They read from a special book called the Torah, and they celebrated Sabbath and other holidays together in the temple. A beautiful menorah made of gold stood tall in the temple. To light it, holy oil was poured into the cups. The light sparkled and glowed, filling the temple with warmth and love. So you can see in these ones, these are not candles, because candles were not readily available, if at all invented yet. To have candles, you need wax and wicks and stuff like that. Well, they use wicks for these, but oil lanterns were burnt for many, many, many years. Thousands of years. Candles are more recent, and even if it's Christmas or birthdays, like candles, or even practicing witchcraft, candles are a relatively newer thing, but also very, again, it's something that we should be grateful for, that we're able to just have candles whenever we want for things. So, a beautiful menorah made of gold stood tall in the temple. To light it, holy oil was poured into the cups. The light sparkled and glowed, filling the temple with warmth and love. But one day, King Antiochus announced, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Antiochus announced that the Jewish people could not celebrate their holidays or even read from the Torah. He ordered his soldiers to attack the temple. The soldiers broke the beautiful menorah. They even smashed the jars filled with holy oil. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional because, like I said, it's just sad to see the hate in the world even now. And this is thousands of years ago, and stories, we can all learn from stories. So this almost makes me want to celebrate Hanukkah just for the fact that the people who were suppressed and not able to do it. Then the king's men set up statues in the temple so they could worship their own gods. So hypocritical, right? Who's to say their gods are the real gods? They might think so. Doesn't mean they're right. The Jews still studied from the Torah, but in secret. When the king's soldiers appeared, they would quickly hide the Torah and pretend they were just playing a game of dreidel. The day came when a group of Jewish soldiers called the Maccabees decided to try to get to the temple back. They went to war against King Antiochus and his men. But how could the small group of Maccabees defeat the king's big army? The Maccabees did not give up. They fought until they won. With the Maccabees' help, the people cleaned up and fixed the damaged temple. And while they were cleaning, they found a small jar of holy oil. Because remember, they got rid of all the oil. I've missed this. Then the Jewish people were able to return to their temple. But when they got inside, they found a big mess waiting for them. And then, with the Maccabees' help, the people cleaned up and fixed the damaged temple. And while they were cleaning, they found a small jar of holy oil. The people built a beautiful new menorah. When the menorah was finally lit, no one thought the holy oil would last more than one day. There was a very small amount of oil, and it would look like it was only enough oil for one day. To their surprise, it lasted 8 days. It was a miracle. Now menorahs hold enough candles to celebrate the Hanukkah miracle. We light the menorah for 8 days. We remember the brave Maccabees. That's the story of Hanukkah. So then we'll go to the mensch on a bench. The mensch on a bench. So we started with this. Now that we know the story of the Maccabees, everyone knows the story of the Maccabees. We do now. And how they led the Jews to freedom. But nobody knows about the unsung hero of Hanukkah, Mosh the mensch. Let me share Mosh's story. Judah and the Maccabees returned to the temple and celebrated their victory against the Greeks. At the end of the night, when they were ready to go to bed, they realized that they only had enough oil for one night. And then in brackets it says, Did you know that the menorah in the temple had only 7 lights, and the middle light was not used as the shamash or the leader? No, I did not know that, and now they're telling us. A friendly voice replied from the back of the temple, I will stay up and watch the lights and let you know if it goes out. You and the others get some rest. Judah said, Thank you. What is your name, friend? The man replied, My name is Mosh, and I would be happy to sit on this bench and watch over the temple. Mosh, you're a mensch, Judah said, a mensch on a bench, and the children laughed. And so the Maccabees, their families, and the rest of the congregation went to sleep. Mosh sat and watched over the light. To Mosh's amazement, the light stayed lit all night. In the morning, everyone was amazed that the light was still lit. Surely this little bit of oil could not last 2 nights. But sure enough, on the second night, the lights remained lit, and Mosh the mensch watched over the temple. On the third day, while the Maccabees went to work, Mosh played with the children. The children were bored and had only clay to play with. They asked Mosh to make up a game for them, so Mosh wrote symbols on the clay, spun it around, and the kids began to play dreidel. On the third night, just like the second night, Mosh again watched the lights, and they stayed lit and shone bright. On the fourth day, the children wanted to thank Mosh for playing with them, so they made special presents for him, wrapped them, and let him open them up in front of them. Oi, how Mosh smiled! On the fourth night, Mosh the mensch watched over everyone, and the lights remained lit. On the fifth day, the children were tired of eating the same boring food for days in a row and asked Mosh to make them a treat. Mosh made his famous latkes, filled up everyone's bellies, and made everyone smile. What a mensch! Like a great guy. On the fifth night, Moshi again watched as the light shone bright on the Jews of the temple. Surely it could not last 6 nights. On the 6th day, the Jewish people of the temple knew that something special was happening. They joined together and celebrated with songs, just like we still do to this day. On the 6th night, Moshi went watched as the light shone bright, and the Jewish people watched with him as the miracle of, it says here too, the G-D. So I don't know if that's how they say God. As the miracle of, I'm going to say God. Of the miracle of God shone before them. Good. I don't know how to pronounce that otherwise. On the seventh day, the Sabbath, the Jews rested. Tired from staying up all night, Mosh rested too. The kids watched the lights and made sure they did not go out. The oil continued to burn. On the seventh night, the miracle of the lights continued, and Mosh the Mensch smiled, as he knew that God was watching out for his people. On the eighth day, the Jews celebrated as the miracle continued. Mosh snuck away, and when nobody was looking, filled everyone's pockets with coins made of candy, called gelt. Everyone was so happy. What a mensch! On the eighth night, after the oil had lasted for 8 long days, more oil arrived at the temple. The Jews, now free, celebrated and knew that God had sent them a sign. They told their children to always remember this festival of lights, and told them to always try to be a mensch, or a good person, in brackets. So that's what a mensch is. Today, Jewish families from around the world can celebrate Hanukkah with their own mensch on a bench, watching over their menorah. A special thanks to the Mensches of Menschen who made this all possible. Each of you is a mensch in your own right. Okay, let's see. There are 8 important rules you must follow when you bring a new mensch into your home. Rule number 1, name your mensch. Each mensch is special and should be part of your family. So this is like the elf on the shelf. You would give it a name as well. And rule number 2, Moshi was always trying to make the kids smile and have fun. Enjoy this holiday with your family. Have fun. Make your own traditions. Put more funica into Hanukkah. Rule 3, every day of Hanukkah, make sure you give your mensch a shamash candle to hold, and every night use that candle to light your menorah. Rule 4, mensches are infused with Hanukkah magic. Make sure your kids know that if they behave, your mensch will let go easily of the shamash candle, but if they misbehave, he will hold it tight and they may not get any presents. Rule number 5, your mensch will get sore from sitting in one place for too long, just like Moshi. So move him every day. Mensches love to have fun, so be creative with your mensch. Rule number 6, mensches love having their picture taken. Take fun photos and share them online with friends and family each night of Hanukkah. Rule number 7, one night of Hanukkah, don't open presents yourself. Instead, buy presents and give them to people in need. Remember that a true mensch is one who puts smiles on other people's faces. Rule number 8, mensches don't sleep. Let them watch over the menorah at night. And then it tells you how to play dreidel. And then blessings over candles, as in Hebrew, I believe. And then the English. And then my Hanukkah memories, the name of the mensch and when he came to the house, and then best memories of the years, best Hanukkah memory, best Hanukkah surprise, favorite present, and mitzvahs, which I don't know what that is either. So we still have things that we need to learn. And then this is something I bought for the Christmas tree. And it says, in this house, we celebrate love. And it shows the Christmas tree, the menorah, and then the Star of David, like the 6-pointed star. And if I do it like this, you will see it. The writing will look the right way to you. So, yeah, because it doesn't matter what you celebrate. It's more about love and being a mensch. I haven't named our mensch. I also don't have little kids to do this tradition with. And again, we're not Jewish. But I think it's important to celebrate all of our differences and our unique things. And just imagine your life without ethnic food. So whatever ethnicity you and your bloodline is, think about those foods, and you might love those foods, and that's great. But imagine all the other things that you love eating and not having that in your life. Well, just like food, the offerings of other nationalities and traditions and religions and cultures have so much to offer. And if you really study or look into different belief systems and cultures around the world, most of us just want for the same things. So in this holiday time, no matter what you celebrate, it's important to give love and kindness and take care of each other, our neighbors, right? If you are a Christian, you know that it would be said to love thy neighbors. So let me see if there's anything else on this other one that I had worth mentioning right now. And then otherwise we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, and I'll grab my drink as well. So a short history of Hanukkah. This festival commemorates, sorry, this festival commemorates events in Judea more than 2,000 years ago when the Syrian king Antioch, oh, is that how you say it? Antioch? It's Antiochus. So Antiochus, maybe it's Antioch. Yeah, let's say Antioch, maybe. King Antioch ordered the Jews to abandon the Torah and publicly worship the Greek gods. This act provoked a rebellion led by Judas. Sorry, I just heard something in the distance and I didn't know what was making noise. So this act provoked a rebellion led by Judas Maccabeus, climaxed by the retaking of the temple in Jerusalem, which the Syrians had desecrated. The army of Jews won despite their small numbers. Now, see, this is what I'm saying. So the Greeks took over because the Jews were practicing what they believed, and then the Greeks put up their gods. And I know there's still Greek people in Greece and stuff like that, but we don't, how many people worship the Greek gods? And I'm not saying that maybe they are real, as real as any of the other gods, but why do we have to hate? Why do we have to hurt? In an 8-day celebration, the Maccabees, as the rebels came to be known, cleansed and rededicated the temple. According to the Talmud, there was only enough consecrated oil to relight the candelabra for 1 day. Yet, miraculously, it remained lit for 8 days. What does the word Hanukkah mean? The word Hanukkah means inauguration or dedication. Oh, I read that before, didn't I? After the rebellion, the temple was in ruin, including the altar. The Maccabees buried the stones of the altar and built a new one. Thus, Hanukkah celebrates the rededication of the Holy Temple and the altar. How do you pronounce Hanukkah? The Hebrew word is actually pronounced with a guttural KH sound. Chanukah, not Tachanukah. Hanukkah? I don't know how to pronounce this. I'll say Hanukkah. How Hanukkah is celebrated. The central feature of the observation is the nightly lighting of the Hanukkah or menorah, an 8-branch candelabra with a place for a 9th candle, the shames used to light the others, or the leader candle. 1 candle is lit on the first night of Hanukkah, and an additional candle is lit on each successive night until on the 8th night the Hanukkah is fully illuminated. Hanukkah is also called the Festival of Lights, or Feast of Lights, due to the importance of the candle lighting. Potato latkes with sour cream and chives. They show like a picture of it. I haven't had them, but that sounds very yummy. Hanukkah recipes to try. Traditional Hanukkah recipes include foods fried in oil to commemorate the original miracle of the oil. Woo-hoo! Deep fried foods. Dairy products are also popular during Hanukkah. Some of the most popular foods include latkes, which is fried potato pancakes, applesauce. Oh boy, this is a tough one to say. Sufganiyot. It's deep fried or jelly donuts. That's what I'm trying to say. And rugalash. RHwL pastries. Many Hanukkah meals are eaten communally to bring friends and family together, especially if they need to reconcile. Hanukkah customs. Consumer gifts are not a custom. The menorah's candles are meant to recall the miracle, the focus on this religious purpose. Traditionally, money was given to charity with more each day as the candles were lit. This originated with the need for even the poor to have money for candles so they could go door to door without any shame. It is also customary on Hanukkah to give money, called Hanukkah gelt, to children and to play games with the dreidel. So we heard about that gelt, which is chocolate coins. Like, it looks like money, but it's made of chocolate. So the dreidel, children, and to play games with the dreidel, a four-sided spinning top. The Hebrew letters printed on the sides of the dreidel are an acronym for the phrase Nez Gadol Hayasham. Hayasham. So Nez Gadol Hayasham. A great miracle happened there. A reference to the oil miracle. Do you celebrate Hanukkah? If you do, please share your family's traditions below. Learn about other significant Jewish holidays, such as Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, is that how you say it? Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Passover. And this was written by the author Catherine Bachman. Loves nature, stargazing, and gardening, so it's not surprising that she and the Old Farmer's Almanac found each other. She leads digital content for the Almanac website and is also a certified master gardener in the state of Indiana. Read more about Catherine Bachman. So that is our lessons on Hanukkah today. It's also Sunday, so it's also like if you're Christian, this is also the Sabbath day, right? The seventh day when you rest. So if you are Christian, you probably have gone to church. I mean, if you're practicing, you might have gone to church today anyway. So this is like when you do Bible studies and learning. That was my favorite part of church when I was a kid, is Bible studies, because we got to color pictures and we would hear the stories and learn, but we got to color as well. So that made me happy. So it's never a bad thing to learn, and you never have to stop learning. So like I said, again, embrace each other's differences and let's love thy neighbor. I'm just reaching for my drink. So what is new with you guys? What have you been up to? How was your Christmas or any holiday that you celebrate? Are you looking forward to the new year, which doesn't matter what, well, I was going to say what religion or tradition you do, but I guess even New Year's, there's different New Year's as well. There's Ukrainian New Year's, there's Chinese New Year's, so it's not all the same. I was going to say January 1st is New Year's for everyone, but it's not, is it? That's yummy. So what can I tell you? One of the best gifts that we've given and got this year, which is a funny story. So Steve's parents are, his stepdad is 75, his mom and dad are 80. My mom is 75. So what do you get for people who are in their 70s or 80s? Food, drinks, like they don't want more stuff in their house. But we were going over ideas for Christmas presents, and while I listen to my podcasts, they're always going on with commercials, right? And that's how podcasting makes their money, just like TV and radio would make their money with commercials. So this one kept coming up for the Aura frame. Aura frame. So it's a digital frame, and so I knew, with my husband being the type of person who does research on everything before we purchase anything, that if I put an idea into his head, he would research to find which was the best one. So the Aura frame was the one that gave me the idea for a digital frame, because they talked about how you could put pictures on it from anywhere, from the app on your phone, and for other people, you know what I mean? So if you have your parents, they have a digital frame. You have your phone, you could be distances away, just like my mom lives in Canada, I live in the UK, and on my phone I could put new Christmas photos on her Aura frame if she gives me her password and lets me have access to her frame. You can't just put pictures on anybody's frame anywhere. But I just thought it was a really cool idea. So that way we could update my mom's frame with our family photos like instantly. And also with having a grandson, well, 2 grandsons, but the youngest is a year and a half. And then the kids can put new pictures of their kids on our frame if we had one. So that was the plan. So we bought my siblings and my mom in Canada aura frames, and we bought our kids, Amy and James, with the grandson Jackson, and then Owen and Bobby a frame, and Steve's parents frames. So the way that it worked out, we bought, like, you could buy, it was a better deal to buy 4, so we did, and we just hadn't got one for ourselves yet. I didn't realize that Steve actually did order us one. But anyways, Amy, our eldest daughter, gave us an aura frame. I mean, not aura. So anyways, after Steve reviewed and did all his research and everything else, it turns out that the Framio is the one that has the best reviews, and it's a better price. The aura frame was way too expensive, and yeah, it seems that the Framio is the one that has the best reviews. So Amy even did her own research without knowing that her dad researched it too, and that's the one she came up with. So weirdly, without knowing that we were buying them one, and knowing that that's what we were buying a lot of people, she ended up buying us the exact same one, Framio. So that's pretty cool. So we set ours up, and oh, thank you. Does it sound better now? Sorry, Erica said, Mom, I think your mic's a little off. Like, it sounds a little fuzzy. Just like I'd let you know, unless it's meant to be like that. Anyways, love you. No, sometimes if I move around or my hair touches it or something, it might not work. It might also not be fully charged. Oh, the green light's still on. Is it working, Erica? I hope it hasn't been like that the whole time. Let me have a drink while I wait. So, yes, so the Framio seems to be the best one, and I can see it from here. So it's really cool. We've added pictures to our own, and we have pictures on there from my siblings in Canada already. And yeah, I think it's probably the best idea that we did, and that it worked out really well. I think it's a really good gift. So look into digital frames, and yeah, it's pretty cool that you can just have these. I know with my Echo, I'm not going to say the word Alexa, so I just call her Echo when I'm not, but I have an Echo Show, which means it has a screen in the kitchen, and on that one, I don't even know, I need to look up how I did it so that I can make the pictures more current, but I connected it to pictures from my phone at one point, so it randomly changes photos from my phone. But I don't know how I did it, and I don't know how to undo it. I just need to look it up and do it again. But it's photos that aren't even on my phone anymore. But it's really cool that sometimes I'll go in the kitchen and this old memory will come up and it'll remind me of something. So even when we first set up the camera and my sisters put pictures on like instantly, you get a notification that the pictures come up. But seeing their Canadian pictures and Christmas pictures like right away on the frame was really cool and special. And then seeing old memories come up too. And I can't wait to put like some old pictures of like my grandparents and my mom when she was little and stuff like that on my mom's frame to just randomly come up with surprises for her. The other good thing is that even if people send you a bunch of pictures, first of all, it only has so much room on it, but you can add SD cards to it to have more memory, so you can have lots of pictures on it. Secondly, mad face, hang on. Erica, is the mic working better? Somebody needs to tell me or I won't know. Otherwise, I could just shut off the mic. The other thing is that if somebody puts a bunch of pictures on your frame because you've given them permission, that's great. But if there's some that other people have already put up, okay, Erica says ignore the angry faces, clicked the laughing faces. So Erica, is the microphone working better now? Yes, so if say my sisters both put up pictures of my mom and they're duplicates or there's just photos that it's like whatever. Because even me and Steve, when we were practicing, we both put up the same picture from our phones. So you can go onto the app and oh, she says, yeah, I can hear you good. Maybe I'm delusional. I said it's fine. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Erica. So yeah, you can delete the pictures that you don't want from your app. So it doesn't have to be full of, you know, so like Owen and Bobby have 2 cats. So those are their fur babies and like our grand fur babies. So if they put way too many pictures of their cats up for our liking, we have control to delete the ones that we don't want on there. So it's a really cool idea, and I think that's probably one of the things that made me the happiest this Christmas as gift giving goes. Erica says, I love you. See you later. Bye, Erica. Love you too. Anyhow, let's see what time we're at with my big fat thumb. We're at 50 minutes, so 9 minutes left. Well, 51 minutes. So, yeah, sorry I keep getting distracted by the Frameo frame. I can take you over there. I'm going to take you there because I don't want to try moving it because it might, I don't know how long the cord is for it. So you can see my sister Tina and her kids. This was them on Christmas night, I think, where they're, but the other cool thing about it is you can instantly turn it and it changes the direction. So if a picture is not cropped properly and it cuts somebody off, you can actually turn it so that you can see it. You can also set it to how long you want the picture to be on before it changes to a different picture. So we'll give it a chance to change photos and then we'll move back to where we were before. Come on. I don't know what Steve said it to. I think it was 11 seconds before. You can also scroll it like this. So that's my auntie in Mexico, and she went on a trip with my mom. My mom added these photos from her trip, so that's Mexico. That, again, is my sister and her kids and her husband, Ryan. So Tina and Ryan and the kids from Christmas. That's in Mexico. Mom in Mexico. My nephew, Brock, playing football. My sister, Melody, when she turned 50. Oh, my nephew Declan up in a tree. I haven't seen that one yet. My nephew Breton with the grumpy cat for Christmas. That's the 6 nieces and nephews from Canada. My mom and sister, the Beach Boys of Summer at Jubilation. So that's the dinner theater. Cool. Melody, Mom, and Breton on Christmas. Brock and Melody at Christmas. Actually, I wonder if I go back to this picture and turn it. Oh yeah, it's just the 3 of them, but you can see that they're all in it. It's not, and then if I turn it to this one, oh yeah, that's Melody and both of her boys, Bach and Breton. So the other cool thing that I noticed as well, and we're going to learn more about this, is that you have the option of putting in an SD card and saving the pictures to the SD card. And that way I could print those probably. And also, I have to look it up, but I don't know if the pictures that they add to the frame actually go into my app or not. So I'd have to check. But yeah, I think that Frameo is a good idea. Like this is the box. Oh, I need to do that with the books that we read as well, don't I? So I can take a screenshot. Let's scooch back over there. So yeah, what else was, like obviously I like giving gifts. That's one of my favorite things at Christmas and stuff is watching other people open the gifts, especially if it's gifts that you've chosen for them that are special. Like it's exciting to watch them and see the reaction that they're going to have. So I love that even more than opening my own gifts. Don't get me wrong. I love stuff. So I do like opening gifts as well for myself, but it's really cool to open gifts. I mean, to watch people open gifts that you've put thought into or time and effort into if they're homemade gifts and stuff like that. So what was I doing? Oh, smiling with my books. Sorry, that was just the air freshener behind, if you heard that. Alrighty, so that is another week, and actually, it is like season 17, episode 1. It could have been a week off for me because it was in between seasons, but I thought I'd give you guys an hour of my time, and we would talk about Hanukkah. So next Sunday will be episode 2, and I have no idea what we're doing. It'll be the new year, I know that, but yeah, I don't know what we're going to be doing for the live. So yeah, I want you guys to have yourself a good week. Have a great new year. I don't even know if there's anybody here besides me and Steve and maybe Aurora. I don't know who else will be here for New Year's, but whoever you're with, whatever you're doing, even if you're by yourself, Happy New Year. I hope this next year is a wonderful year for you and that it brings the things that you want into fruition. Is that the right word? That you get the things that you want or need in life. All right? I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Oh, hey, before I go, I just want to do, when we do the end of life questions and everything, there was a few questions that that I had as ideas, but let's do question number, I think it'll be 35, 36, question number 35 or 36. If you believe in the spirit world and if ghosts were real and if you could haunt people, uh, would you come back after you die? Are you going to come back and haunt people? So you can write this in your book. Just for fun, if you were going to haunt people, who would it be? What would you do? Would it just be scaring people? Would it be trying to be around your loved ones to let them know you're still there? Or would it be like like the lady in white trying to be creepy and just like have fun with people? So if you could haunt people, would you, and who would it be? Again, not now, but after you die. That's our latest question. It's just for fun. It's just a fun question that I was wondering. All right. Again, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great week and a great rest of 2024, and we will see you in 2025. Let's see what the new year has to offer. Love you guys. Bye.